And welcome to the Gankbush Podcast. I'm your host, Fringe Average. For those of you listening for the first time, we are the only explicit Heroes of the Storm podcast where all the different co-hosts represent different play levels. So, for example, we have someone as low as a silver type player all the way up to a master level player. We bring you the latest HOTS news and discuss the latest tips and strategies so that you can become a better player. So let's go ahead and introduce our master level player. That is Scott, who's calling in from San Francisco, California.
Yo, what up?
All right, let's go ahead and introduce our gold type player. That is Old Backpack, who's calling in from Abu Dhabi.
Just accept it, Old Backpack.
Sorry, who? What?
Accept it.
I'll have to introduce someone else. Who?
All right, let's go ahead and introduce our silver type player. That is Tire Baron, who's calling in from San Diego, California.
What's up, Fringe? It's good to be here at the Nexus. Looks like we got the old crew for this show.
Yep.
OG.
Yeah, the original four, I guess.
Yeah, this is it's like the Fellowship of the Ring.
Oh, God.
We wouldn't go that far.
Who's Boromir? Who's going to die at the end of this?
Well, that was obviously Byron. He already died off.
Yep.
So we're doing audio only this week. Bacon is doing work stuff, so we're doing audio only. So, but let's get the plugs out of the way first. So we are streaming next Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific. We're going to have the owner of Team Octalysis on the show, so please come out for that. If you listen to us on iTunes or Stitcher, please subscribe and/or rate and review the show. That really helps us out a lot. Also, we are on Spotify, so if you want to listen on Spotify, please go there, do a search for Gankbush Squad. You'll find us there. If you have any friends who play the game and/or who listen to podcasts, please spread the word about the show. If you would like to talk with us or play with us, please go to our Discord channel. If you would like to play with us, please go to the channel Wintime in BNet, one word, Wintime. If you have any questions for the show, please direct message me on Discord. If you would like to support us financially, please go to patreon.com/GankbushSquad. There, all the money goes back into paying all of our costs every month, as well as putting on giving money back to the casters who do the casting for Bush League, as well as getting swag for everyone who wants swag, as well as going back into the community, such as Calm Before the Storm. If you go to the YouTube channel there, you can find the replays of the podcast as well as the Bush League videos as well. If you go to gankbushsquad.com, you can find links to all of the aforementioned content hubs. All right, so some special announcements. So we have the finals of Bush League on Monday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. We're going to have Goon Hots doing the casting on Monday, so please go to his Twitter channel. I think it's just
Twitch channel, right?
Twitch channel.
Yeah.
If you go to twitch.com/goonhots, then that should be the URL. So please, everyone come on out. We're going to, also.
Wait, hold on. Is it Goon Hots plus Sojin or just Goon?
I'm just going to say Goon Hots because there's some stuff in flux. So
okay.
I don't know. I've been told not to announce anything, but, anyway.
Oh, shit.
But, if you go to our Twitter channel, our Twitter page, or our Discord, you'll find a link. We are doing the Bush League Awards where we named like the most valuable player, the most improved, and so forth. So please go to the Twitter. It should be the number one tweet or the last tweet that we sent out. So if you want to, submit who you think deserves an award, please go there. And the awards will be, announced during the, Bush League, championship on Monday night with, Goon. So also, if you missed it, a week ago, Taraban created top 10 plays. I put, quotations around plays, of Bush League. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you can find the top 10 plays. Also, if you know anyone who has extra BlizzCon tickets, please let us know. We need one or two, for everyone to go. Also, Old Backpack, published a paper on cholesterol.
What does that have to do with HOTS? What does that mean?
No.
I published, yo. Like, that's my actual job.
Well, tell us about...
I said, like, do you announce that I wrote some code or something? Is that what this
well, you can announce that you ran a 100-mile marathon. Well, 100-mile race, I should put it. How about that?
I did.
I did. See, I mean, more than 4 marathons.
Well, I didn't put that in the show notes. I don't know what...
Anyway,
Who cares about that?
so what's the 2-minute summary? Wait, what's the 2-minute summary of the paper, Old Backpack?
The 2-minute summary is that nutritionfacts.org dude had a video that said cholesterol can actually crystallize and puncture a heart to cause a heart attack. He said, yeah, this might happen. Then I went and proved it. And yes, it can happen. Cholesterol can crystallize in an artery and then puncture your artery and then causing a heart attack.
You should tweet that to him.
I really should, because I mean, it's directly off of his video that I did the research and proved it.
Yeah.
But how come your name wasn't the first one on the paper, though? It was like some other dude.
That's my undergrad, Maria Alhandali.
Oh, you put her ahead of yourself, like first name ahead of you?
Yeah.
Well, she's just following your orders, though.
There's something called humility.
Humility. Okay, if you want to just
front to get ahead in life.
she's like sounds like an assistant. You don't put your assistant first.
No. She's a first year grad student. She put a lot of work in. She deserves her name on that on the authorship.
All right, I know what you're trying to do, little backpack. Wink, wink.
What are we talking about? That's gross.
Trying to develop a roster over there. He's put himself last because he's not trying to leave. He's just going to develop his own little team. He just rotates through.
Someone wants to go to the open division, don't they?
Tired of the NGS?
Yep.
The Bush League?
All right. Well, anyway, congratulations to Old Backpack for the published work. Also, Tyler Baron did a 100-mile marathon, so there you go. How you like that, Tyler Baron?
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Is that all?
One question though. So with the 100-mile marathon,
yeah,
it's 30 hours to complete. Do you sleep during it?
This time cutoff is 32 hours, which is like a 19-minute mile, including any breaks you take. So it's all at once. I think top time was 20 hours, 19 or 20 hours.
Holy shit.
That's like, that dude is like, he had a crew with them. He was like 29 or something. He was like 5'2". So yeah, that's definitely to his strengths to be that conservative with his energy, being that he's like fairly young, pretty small, and had a crew. So did in 30 hours. Didn't sleep.
What is the crew? What does the crew mean? Does he have someone carrying water for him or something?
Yeah, all the 8 stops. He has people that just bring him stuff. It's like a big crew.
They got water stops already. He's probably getting like food and whatever else. Some massage for his muscles.
Yeah, like if at an aid station he says at the next aid station I need this, like they go out and get it for him. Like I need some pickle juice. That's like a thing, right? Like pickle juice. It's like I need pickle juice, and they'll go out and get
gross.
it.
Yeah, that sounds nasty.
Also, you go into the aid station. Normally, if you do it solo, you gotta take off your pack, fill it up yourself. You got a crew there. They either give you a new pack with it full already, or they fill it up for you. They get your second pair of shoes. Like otherwise, you just have your own drop bags. You have to scrounge around in that pile of bags for your own stuff and do everything yourself. So
tell the story about people peeing.
I guess I was telling Fringe after the race when people get close to the cutoff and they don't want to stop. I saw people, these dudes, they were just like, they had to piss. And normally they go off the side and stop and piss, but these guys were like just whipping it out and hiking on peeing at the same time. So it's like it's like line of water between their legs as they're hiking because they're doing so much time that they just stop completely. So it was kind of crazy.
A 30-hour race and you can't stop for a minute to take a piss.
Well, the thing is, at the end, it's harder to run. So like, there's cutoffs between each aid station. It's like it'll get to the point where it's like 5 miles to the next aid station, and you've only got an hour to get there. Like it adds up when you stop. Right? Like once you stop, and it's that much harder to start too. So
it's like shoeing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. No one knows what that means.
No one knows what shoeing is. What are you talking about?
Explain what shoeing
No. Let's keep that as an inside joke for now.
Yeah, all the men know what it means.
Knows what it is.
You know, it's funny. What's funny is that without Bacon here, I can actually use the insider terms that he doesn't know about, and I can say them freely. So that's kind of cool. All right. Anyway, so we have a good show for you. We're going to
Hey, one last thing,
Yes.
French. You said the finals for Bush League are next week, but you didn't mention which teams are playing.
We'll do the Bush League recap.
All right, just if you want to make
Tower Baron's team is in the finals.
Yes.
His team kicked the shit out of FTBRG.
Beat this shit out of, as well said.
Are you happy now?
it was a totally different team without Bacon.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So there you go. Spoiler alert for people who don't know.
Spoiler alert. It's already happened.
Yeah. All right. So we have a good show for you. We're going to do we're going to talk about Yrel, who's now in the Nexus, as well as Alterac Pass and how I can't seem to play a game on that map. And I've played several games already, and then we'll do a draft analysis for Bush League, and then we'll do a meta analysis for supports. And then if there's time, we'll talk about then we'll do the mid-season brawl predictions. And then, if there's time, which there probably won't be time, but then we'll do the meta update for, assassins. Alright, so, Yrel's in the game, and, it's only been, 36 hours, give or take? And her win rate is about 38%, last I checked. Right? Well, it's below 40%. So I think this is I think at least I had issues with her anyway when she was in the PTR that she's like in a weird spot in terms of her kit that, they want her to be a main tank, but she doesn't really have the kit for it. But, so what are your thoughts on Yrel so far, Scott?
Did everyone buy Yrel, by the way?
Yeah, I bought her.
Yeah,
I bought her too.
I'd have to say she feels terrible.
Oh.
Are my initial thoughts. I mean, I haven't played her. I've played her, 2 games? Actually, 3 games. And, I mean, she doesn't feel good. And you mentioned a win rate of about 40%. I'm looking at Masters. There's not that many games, but she's got a win rate of 28%. It just, out of 35 games. But, I mean, basically, she's not doing well. And it just feels useless. The charge up time seems way too long for how ineffective her abilities are. Mm-hmm. I think if you got rid of the charge up time on all of her abilities, I don't even know if she'd be a 50% hero at that point.
I think the biggest charge up ability that sucks is the jump. Because if you don't charge it up, it's shit.
Yep.
And it's kind of slow, and it has no range. I think maybe if you had to pick any of them, it's the jump, the E.
It's not that big of a range, even when it's maxed out, that you feel you have to charge it up to get to that point. It feels bad, especially the higher you go, the more likely you're going to get punished every time you channel an ability. There's a ton of crowd control in the game to negate her abilities without using her trait. I mean, I'm not a fan. I haven't, maybe I got to see somebody play her well, but even still, I'm not seeing her usefulness right now.
Yeah, so when I first played her, I said to myself, this girl is Chen. If she's interrupted, she's terrible. Both for ultimates kind of just make her a bigger damage sponge, so she's only really good if the team focuses her. Her most sacred ground gives her armor, so what do? You just ignore her. So she doesn't have any CC or damage to really punish you in the back. Just like Chen. It feels useless. Because why focus her? What's she going to do? Jump on you and then heal herself?
Yeah, and look at her hitbox too. On top of her not dealing a lot of damage, her hitbox is small, so she can't body block or anybody either.
True.
So I'm just having a hard time finding how she's going to be useful.
Yeah. Also, most team fights, just news and pro play, happen in about 2 seconds, maybe 3. That's 1 charge up ability. Her rate of play is far too slow for high level play.
Yeah, and then on top of the charge is that when she's channeling the charge, she has slower movement, which kind of sucks as well.
Yeah.
So it's if you want to leap in with your E and then use your trait and then knock back with the hammer, it's you have to have it charged already, or else you're not gonna have it charged and walk up, right? You have to be in a bush with it charged or something, jump in and then use your E if you want to kind of dive in. So that kind of feels like it sucks too. Although I do think it's still lower level, she still kind of is very disruptive, and if you don't focus her down, she can still kind of be like a bit of like a bee trying to swat down. Definitely Scott's level. Yeah, definitely Scott's level. I mean, like you're getting interrupted all the time on your channels. It's going to be very difficult. I've actually heard of some people play like you should sort of play her like more of a tank like Blaze, where it's sort of like a disengaged tank, because she does have some healing of some party members at level 4, right? So you can either get the armor.
That's one of the bright spots, is that heal is actually pretty significant. That's, I mean, I gotta actually look at it.
It was like 400 something.
Yeah, I think it's like close to like an Uther Q. Or no, what's his main? Is that his main heal? Or is it?
Yeah, the Q is the main heal. Yeah.
Yeah, so that hits really hard, but that seems about it. You know, I think to start off, they gotta stop the move speed slow when you're channeling abilities, and probably decrease the cast time from maxing it out to 1.5 seconds to 1 second.
Yeah.
Maybe increase the damage a little bit, and then she might be viable.
I don't think maybe she's like the damage is the issue. I think maybe it's more of like the abilities.
It's the kit, really, right? It's the.
She doesn't have anything to force people to attack her. She's not a threat in any way, really. So, you know, you either got to give her more crowd control or give her more damage so that she could be a threat.
Exactly. So she's Chen, because Chen provides no crowd control and minimal damage. That's why Chen is best when he's being attacked. And that's for your opponent to decide. Do I want to attack Chen? He's drinking. No, I don't. And walk past him. He can't CC you.
Do you feel like if she was labeled as support, would you guys feel that that's a misclassification if they said, hey, this is a support character?
I say she's a bad Zarya.
Yeah, it's sort of like in the Zarya territory in terms of like, or maybe like Tyrael, I guess, in terms of like the amount of healing she kind of generates. Although they don't really track that in the stats, though, which is another thing. So that just only track damage taken, not really amount of healing heals and stuff, or self heals. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like.
But I think you're right though, Fringe. It's like I'm not really sure why I pick her, other than just to disrupt people, or why would I pick her over someone else who does whatever I'm trying to do better? Kind of thing.
But I mean, how disruptive is she even? Like, her Q takes a while to charge up. The leap animation's fairly slow, and you're not really going that far. It's very easy to dodge and miss people unless they're slowed already. The knockback's
all right.
Anybody can avoid unless you use your trait to hit it right away, because you put a slow on yourself when you start casting it.
Do you think this is like a Blaze situation where it just takes everyone a long amount of time to know how to play her properly, and then we learned that she's actually good?
Well, what's the thing is, like, why would I take her if I can take Blaze?
Yeah, Blaze has
more CC.
Yeah, Bunker helps the rest of his team. It'd basically be like Blaze would be better than your Yrel without Bunker, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well,
just because he's
Sacred Ground. Sacred Ground, you have like 20 armor to all allies inside of it. Then it's going to be good.
Yeah, if it was something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that. For the people that say, oh, Blizzard always releases heroes that are heavily OP, you have to stop with that mentality. I think they try their best to make a hero balance, and then they'll make changes appropriately. But this is a hero that I think we all agree that she's undertuned, right? So, you can't just point to Phoenix or Maiev or, whoever.
Genji at first release.
Yeah. So this is an undertuned character, and I think they'll buff her probably in 2 shows from now.
Yeah. What do you think about this?
It, right? She either needs more damage or more CC. One or the other.
Yeah,
What do you think?
either that
Or
or
make her a
like
tank.
double her health pool so she just doesn't die.
Now, what about if you changed her trait cooldown from 10 seconds to like 4 seconds and have auto attacks reduce the cooldown? So it's sort of like
Permanent.
you can, it's like permanent.
She's our Tannis,
without
essentially.
channeling. Yeah, a little bit.
That would make her better. That goes back to what I said of like, if you made her abilities not channel at all, she'd be decent, but still probably not that good.
Yeah.
So, but
So going back to like her level 7 instant mount, that is kind of cool to play with.
Yeah, that alone is
That's kind of sick to play with.
Her level 4 talent that
heals
the nearest ally are good.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else about her is just kind of meh.
I mean, she has fun talents. I like different builds. She has E build. She has trait build. Those are fun.
The E build is just kind of wonky though, because like you just kind of E just to give people armor. You just kind of jump around, but then like her E is her worst ability in my opinion.
Yep, it is.
Because it's not like a dwarf toss, which is kind of like an instant jump. It's like Scott said, it has that little like wind up to it, and it's not as far.
Yeah, it's slow. It's slower than Murden's dwarf toss.
Yeah.
That's saying I'm about to initiate. No.
Yeah, and they could see you like channeling and extra slow with like your angel wings or whatever. It's very obvious what you're trying to do.
Yeah. I saw Grubby. He was kind of like advocating that E build, the jump build. I was like, I don't really get it, but like her combo, if she does have a combo, is where she does jump in and then she traits and then hammers. Yeah, that's the only type of combo I've seen.
It's the Murden Haymaker, except it's not anywhere near as good.
Without the hay.
Yeah, and it's much harder to hit. Murden throws the stun, jumps on the other side of the person, knocks them back. You could do all that while they're stunned, so you know exactly where you're going to hit them. Yrel, you could land on them, and by the time you finish landing, they're on the other side of you, and you knock them back into your team.
Yeah. But
you could use it defensively too. That's the other, I think, things that maybe you pop your traits, heals the lowest person, and then you disengage with the W. But then again, that's sort of like a not so good Blaze, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that might be your best thing, is to basically be that backline protection.
Well, can we also mention how like both of her ultimates, right? Neither of them affect the opposing team. Like let's say if APOC, it hurts the team. Let's say you have, Graviton Surge, you have Garrosh Taunt. Like these ultimates are used to generate CC and affect the opposing team. With her ultimates do none of that.
Yeah, it just kind of allows her to sustain more and survive more.
Yeah, but she has good sustain.
Yeah,
it's not her weakness.
Yeah, I don't know. She just doesn't feel good. I mean, I said last week or 2 weeks ago when we first talked about her, because I played World of Warcraft and she's supposed to be a rep paladin. And rep paladins are basically a lot similar to Sonya. Not necessarily Sonya's abilities, but the fact that she's tanky and she could deal threatening damage. And right now, she doesn't deal threatening damage. She's just tanky with no crowd control, no damage. I mean,
I think that her ultimates get better once her numbers are tuned up, right? Then, so I think it all goes back to the numbers, or reducing the cooldowns, or both. I think that if they do that, then the ultimates look way better on paper or in the game than they do now. I think the ultimates, the fact that they only benefit her. I mean, one of them benefits the other team, but like, you know what I mean? Like, they don't benefit the opposing team. It only exacerbates the fact that her damage is low.
Well, yeah, I mean, so her ultimates say, now you can't attack me, but there's no real reason ever to attack her because her damage is too low. Like, there's no, like, also I said her ultimates don't help her or her allies. It doesn't affect the enemy team or her allies. They just make her more tanky, but why hit her? Other than her being there.
Yeah.
And I did get a buff to her auto attack damage I saw in the patch notes. They buffed it a little bit, but that's not really the problem, I think.
Yeah, and they buffed her heal too, I believe, for Q. But I mean, even with those buffs, she's still weak.
Well, I mean, I honestly rather Blizzard release an undertuned character and work their way up than vice versa. Like, I think we can all agree that we had Phoenix be, OP for 2 weeks or
Maiev.
Yeah, that's a shitty experience for everyone involved. I think this other way with their undertuned and then they gradually increase the, make them better, then that's the way to go. Ideally, at least for me.
I agree. Plus, I imagine they'll do less balance patches between HTC because, they don't have time for it.
Yeah, but the problem is that from their point of view, which is a very valid one, is that if a character's undertuned, they have less games to, less data to analyze the character, so they have to make bigger leaps. But I still rather prefer undertuned than become, better. So. Okay.
Well, I still think she's fun to play. Maybe not best for the team, but it's fun to play.
Mm-hmm. All right. So does anyone I haven't played any games on Alterac Pass. I've played a few games, and I haven't had the opportunity to play that map yet. So, anything on the map?
I've played 4 games since yesterday. I haven't got any games on it.
Yeah. It'd be nice if they shorten the map pool, or I was thinking about this earlier. If they made it the brawl, the brawl is basically like an unranked draft or a quick match where you select a hero or you go into the unranked draft lobby and you're guaranteed to play on that map.
Yeah,
I'd play that. I'd love to play that and get a good 10 games on it or so, so that you have some sort of strategy on how to approach the map.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea. That'd be like, even if you just made the threshold 2 games to get the, loot box, that's great. I think people would love to sign up and try that out.
Yeah, because right now it's the ARAM single lane map. It's nobody cares about that. Throw the map in there and let people get some experience on it.
Hey, I played the quest for the ARAM brawl.
Yeah,
I like it.
Oh, I played the ARAM once on Monday, and I was playing with Hero Physio and some other wind timers, and we were playing against LFM Fury.
Cool.
Yeah, we kicked the shit out of him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
it's good.
He was Diva, and he looked kind of bad, but it's Diva, so Diva's bad in general.
And he was playing Brawl.
Well, he was playing Brawl with 3 or 4 other people, and they may have just been friends of his, I guess. But yeah. So, but then after the game ended, Hero Physio talked to Fury, and then he left and played Hero. He played more brawls with Fury instead of us. So cool. Yeah, whatever. It's fine.
Oh yeah, Fury's on LFM now, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Because I saw the logo, the portrait of the LFM. I'm like, oh look, an LFM fan. I'm like, oh wait, that's LFM Fury. Holy shit!
Who else would have a portrait for LFM? Huh?
Hey, I think last I checked, they're the 3rd highest cheered team in NA.
Yeah, they got a decent fan base.
They just need to get more wins.
Yeah, we'll see about that. But the fact that they're 3rd is really cool for them. So. But anyway, so I guess we'll talk about Alterac Pass a little bit later, I guess, in another show. All right, so let's do the Bush League recap. All right, so for those of you at home, as I said earlier, Tara Baron's Please Don't Ban Diablo, which is Tara Baron's team, played Fuck That Booty real good, and Bacon was unavailable to play because he was moving to one of the Carolinas, and so they had a sub who was I think a diamond player. You could have fooled me, but
digitality.
Yeah, I'm not to talk shit about him, but I didn't see a diamond player play. But
well, it was obviously he wasn't the one doing the shot calls.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, there was no leadership on that team basically.
And you watched Zep just run around in the middle of the opposing team. That hurt.
No, he would walk into the enemy team, then power slide more into the enemy team, then walk around again.
That was the second game. The first game I knew he was gonna play
Murden,
jump in style, because I saw first pick talent was Perfect Storm. I'm like, all right, he's gonna jump in and overextend. He going Perfect Storm.
Yeah. Perfect Storms for noobs.
Yeah, that's a trap talent.
And the Koreans.
If you're looking to jump in and just get a lot of damage and be like this bruiser Murden, like
perfect storms for noobs or double tanks where you're not the main tank.
Yeah.
Or Brawl. It's awesome on Brawl.
Yeah. But if you go to the Gangpush Squad YouTube channel, you'll find the link or the video where you can watch both games or 3 games. And you can see me and DJ Tyrant from the Nexus commentaries cast, or at least I tried to cast. I don't think I did that good of a job. But anyway, so the games were kind of both one-sided. They were kind of meh.
The second game more so. And the first game was kind of even till the middle. Mm-hmm. You know, our team had some feeds and stuff like that, and pulled away at the halfway point of the game. But the second game was, and no, they didn't really play that well. The second game.
I mean, there were 2 major factors. The FTBRG didn't have Bacon, and Please Don't Ban Diablo had Blemsy switch to tank, and he played very well.
Blemsy's like the best tank you guys have somehow.
I was about to say that like we won because like Blemsy didn't feed like Scott said.
Yeah, he went to tank instead of an assassin role, and he had a much bigger impact.
Yeah, he really controlled the team fights really well.
He became the carry. You should be being the best player on that team.
Yeah, and then Scott, we got a couple of practice games in with Scott as well before that matchup. Gave us some pointers.
Yeah, poor man's Ghost Bear.
That was good because it made the level of the players we played against so much higher too. It's like, oh shit, queuing up with a Masters player.
Yeah. So again, the finals are happening, and I'm very curious to see how it goes. Because it's funny
for you.
Yes.
When you make your plans for the draft, will you plan for Blemsy being an offlaner, being a tank, or being an assassin? How will you construct your counter draft?
He's always going to ban out EBS graphics as hero pool.
You mean both heroes?
So limited.
No, he played Jaina. I'm more worried about
Jaina didn't win the game though.
I'm thinking more about what maps they're going to want to play on. That's the biggest thing. I think I have an idea of what they want to do.
We are prepared for Braxis. Well, I'm telling you right now, we were prepared.
Rexar, huh?
It's okay, Dan. I can ban the Genji out, and you can't do anything about it. Not that I've seen EBS graphics Genji. I'm not worried about it.
We're not going to put all our chips on EBS graphics as Genji.
Okay. But anyway, so I'm just more curious to what map, because it's either going to be Volskaya or Infernal Shrines. And I'm sure they're going to ban out Dragonshire because they're afraid. They know they can't win on it, so they'll ban it.
Just don't want to deal. That's all it is.
Yeah, because you guys can't rotate and communicate. Yes, I'm very aware. So, but should be interesting to see how it goes. I already have my strategy, and my team already knows what they need to work on. So, yeah. So I'll
just say this right here now for open source information.
Ooh.
Zuni is the best soul laner in Bush League. Don't put maps where one soul laner can win the game.
Well, that's why we say we got to prep for Braxis.
Dragonshire
and Braxis. The 2 maps where one soul laner heavily affects the game.
Well, you can't ban out both maps.
I'm just saying. Those are the strong as the biggest strength of Team Fringe, or sorry, TB squared.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, the main thing is that no matter what the outcome is on Monday, a Tower Baron will win the championship.
Yes,
that's right.
That's all that really matters, right?
It's a win-win right there.
Mm-hmm.
Tower Baron wins no matter what.
Yeah. So, but so let's do a draft analysis of one of the games. So this is the first.
Actually, I was going to ask, what's the award for winning?
I don't know.
For the Bush League awards and the award for winning the season.
I don't know. What do you want the awards
codes or something? I don't know.
Codes?
Just asking if there is.
I haven't thought about it.
I don't know. A Gankbush hat.
I already put in the order for that.
Yeah.
Oh.
You get the bragging rights. What else more would
I feel like that's the most important thing to get, is to say you're the Bush League champion for 5 months. Who doesn't want that?
5 months.
Yeah.
Well, until the next championship happens,
right? The next season ends.
Yeah.
So it's like you win the Super Bowl. You get to say that for an X amount of time. So
the team's going to get preserved for next season. I mean, hypothetically, I don't know if we're against the second.
We set up a Bush League admin for the people that that want to discuss how season 2 comes into fruition, and that's an ongoing conversation with the people involved. So I've already.
That's that's a very what's it called? It's a huge range of comments on that thread, man. Like everyone wants a variety of things for Bush League. It's kind of weird.
You can read that.
Yeah, well, I see the chat.
Yeah,
you guys can all see that.
The Bush League are admins.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys
can all read it.
Okay, all the admins can see. Oh, well, anyway. Shit.
wait.
Huge range of comments. Man.
I saw your first comment. Oh, only these people can see it. I'm like, oh, I can see it too.
Yeah.
well, shit. Well, anyway, I guess Scott and No Backpack can see it too. I guess I know that now.
We're admins, yo.
But either way, we're having active discussions in terms of season 2. I've already expressed what I want, but again, I guess it's a compromise, or everyone has to be okay with it. But I've thought about it for a few weeks now, but we'll see how it goes with season 2. Yeah. Okay, so let's do a Bush League draft analysis. So this is the first game. So it's Infernal Shrines, and so Tower. Please Don't Ban Diablo goes Greymane, Garrosh, Jaina, Leoric, and Lili. Greymane, Garrosh, Jaina, Leoric, and Lili on Infernal Shrines, and the FTBRG went Stukov, Varian, Murden, and Phoenix. So, what do you guys think about the last pick? What should the last pick be for Fuck That Booty Real Good?
Fuck That Booty Real Good is pretty obviously what they're going to do with Varian Stukov, right? They're going for single target isolation. Murden and Varian are both isolation tanks. I learned from an old backpack. The thing it looks like they don't have is wave clear and or a solo laner. You can put Phoenix as a solo laner, but then you need someone to clear the waves up until the objective and for the objective. So I think you can actually have Phoenix with the 4-man and pick another solo laner. Phoenix clears waves okay, but you either got to go with a solo laner to replace Phoenix or some type of mage or AoE damage wave clearer. So we're thinking about like Gul'dan or
Kael'thas.
Malthael. Yeah, Kael'thas works. The other KT, Kel'Thuzad.
KTZ.
Yeah, KTZ. Or else, I mean, if you don't do that, then you're going to fall behind on the wave clear between the lanes. And, like, it's going to be rough when you get to the objective. So, it's going to take a long time to clear it.
I don't know. I just like Kael'thas. I don't know. I think that Living Bomb during the objective against, every Bush League team is full of noobs, essentially, or low MMR. Mm-hmm. So, like, that shit will spread. That shit will spread, like wildfire, literally.
Yeah, true.
So, I just think, on this map, I think, especially against this team where, like, they're kind of melee heavy with the Greymane and Garrosh and even the Leoric. I think, Kael'thas would just do a ton of damage. And if the Stukov plays properly, then, if he goes one good spread, he can sustain a lot longer than, the other team can.
Wait, wasn't one good spread heavily nerfed?
It's still really good though. It's like
really good,
but it's still obviously the best.
It's still
talent.
The best talent. You don't have the mana regen you used to have, but it still lowers the cooldown on your Q significantly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Stukov out heals Lili in a one-on-one situation, like pretty easily, if played properly. So
they're definitely picking the Stukov for the silence after the Varian taunt, right? I'm pretty sure Varian is going to go taunt, and they're looking for that isolation kill after his charge, right?
So the biggest problem is that there's no like really strong and single target DPS. Like you taunt him, what's the follow up? Best you have is Planet Cracker.
That's the one thing.
Yeah.
So even if you do go Kael'thas, it doesn't really help with the blow up with the variant.
That's why I vote Chromie.
Chromie, yes.
Yeah.
Chromie or Li Ming, both high single target on my blow up.
Yeah.
It's on
Li
Infernal
Ming's
Shrines.
kinda-
Li Ming
yeah,
can be
kinda
good,
weak.
but there's
True.
a majority of times where there's going to be people or just even minions in the way
Yeah,
that
the
you
monkeys
can't
will
hit
be
your
there.
target.
What about Thrall?
He's getting tossed.
Well, I mean, he could kind of work.
Couldn't you sunder and then split the team and then just kill the taunted character?
Well, it's gonna be hard because his wave clear isn't the best, right? Then you have to send
True.
Phoenix up the solo lane.
Well, I
and
think
you gotta roam together.
I think
right?
I think when you go Varian Murden, that Phoenix is the soul laner, right?
Yeah. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be. You can get another solo laner to kind of take over that position and have Phoenix roam around with the other
I don't
group.
know. I think no matter who you go, Phoenix is the soul laner. Like she has the kit or he has the kit to do it fairly well. And I think Phoenix could probably outwave clear or at least hold their own against Leoric.
Yeah, for sure. I think Leoric,
So
if played evenly, is going to get kited. And then Leoric will just maybe kind of clear out his tower.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Thrall
What's funny
is
is that,
super
like-
risky.
Yeah.
it's like
think
kind of
blue
like
team-
As soon as Garrosh gets any sort of CC on you, Greymane and Jaina going on you, and you're dead in 3 seconds at the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny is that the blue team, they actually want Jaina, right? They want wave clear and they want high burst.
Yeah.
It's too bad that Jaina's on the opposite team. Also, Jaina freaking keeps Drosh slowed forever, so he can't toss anyone. I learned that from HGC. It had Jaina counters Drosh really, really effectively.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Kind of sad.
Chromie has wave clear though. Her W
She
is
does?
pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chromie's okay.
Well, I mean, by like level 7, she's doing a ton of damage. She can clear waves pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So, but do you guys remember what FTBRG went? Was it?
yeah, they went
Golden.
Gul'dan, yeah.
Okay.
That was their sub played, like Digitality played Gul'dan.
Yeah, the things that I was playing with the team and with Digitality, I think he was more of a tank player, so that kind of not ruined, but like disrupted their roster, I think,
Yeah.
potentially. But
yeah, because I think for sure that we kind of knew that they were going to prioritize Varian and have Shin on Varian, just because they've played that like a number of times in the past.
So Scott, do you think Tyran's team with the Greymane, Garrosh, Jaina, Leoric, and Lilia is a good counter to Varian?
I mean,
'Cause
it's,
I don't see it.
with the Gul'dan on the blue team, I'd say it's kind of a 50-50. Both teams are going blow up,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of whoever gets the good initiation 1st should win, would be my guess.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the red team that game got a lot more good initiations.
Yeah. Well, the Drosh set it up, man. The Drosh played extremely well in that game.
Yeah, got a lot of tosses on the squishy targets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
Pretty
got a
easy.
lot of tosses on Murd,
That too. He said, no, guys,
And
join Murden now. Then you
couldn't
jump
get
him in
out.
half.
Well, the problem is that Murden would jump into the team, and then he wouldn't have his escape, and then we get tossed. And
Yeah.
it's like, well, shit, I can't go anywhere.
A few times we're looking for that. Same thing with like ETC. We're just waiting for the slide to come out. It's like, oh, you're not getting out now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's high risk if you're using your disengage to initiate all the time. That's
Yeah, you got to have numbers on that.
unless you're playing in China or maybe Korea, you really don't want to do that.
True. With Tyrael on your back.
When was there a Tyrael?
No one in this league plays Tyrael except for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no one does.
Yeah, that hasn't come out yet. I was actually looking for that start of the league that you were going to bust out Tyrael at some point.
Well, maybe it's coming soon.
Ooh.
Like, one hero Fridge has never played.
Maybe, you never know. But anyway, so that game was okay, but then after like both teams got ultimates, then Please Don't Ban Diablo kind of snowballed it pretty quickly. So
we got kind of lucky too that mid-level Punisher was an Arcane Punisher too. That Arcane Punisher is like way better than the Frost or the Magic one or whatever it's called.
The Fire
Mortar
one's terrible. The Frost one's okay. The Arcane Punisher is awesome.
Yeah. So, but yep. So again, come watch us. Come watch Goon's stream, and the game should be good. You never know. Like, both playoff games have been kind of one-sided, unfortunately.
Yeah, we haven't had a game 3 yet.
Yeah. So, but
is it best of 5 or best of 3 for the finals?
It is best of 3, but I was thinking about it more. If I was going back to do it again, I would make it a best of 5. But it's best of 3.
Playoffs.
Best of 5 is kind of long.
No, best of 5. Best of 5 for the championship.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's kind of long.
Yeah, I know.
With people playing in different time zones and actually having jobs and shit.
Yeah.
So on a Monday,
obligations, it could be asking a lot to get people to show up for
best
potentially like 3 hours.
yeah, if it goes to game 5.
So, but anyway, so it's best of 3, and how the rules work is that my team gets to choose either map ban or first pick, and then game 2, Tyrebrand's team gets to choose, and then third game I get to choose. My team gets to choose. So, yeah. Okay, so yep. So it should be good. I'm actually it's pretty obvious that Tyrebrand is way more into winning this than Fringe is, but
are you sure about that? You have your freaking spreadsheets and
somebody
shit.
trying to downplay their try-hardness and the tasks they were giving their teammates to work on pre-championship.
Well,
yes. I don't give tasks for my team. I'm just saying, like, you're probably going to play these characters. The biggest thing is for us if we actually practice beforehand.
Yeah. My team
can't practice. Do we actually practice or not? Like, everyone can talk whatever they want in the chat, but if we don't practice as like a 5-man, like, we're not going to get it.
Yeah. So, but all right. So let's do very quickly before we do the meta analysis. Let's do a quick. All right. So what is everyone's picks for the top 2 in the midseason brawl next week? So for those of you listening at home, MVP Black / Genji is 1. Then Tempo Storm, then Ballistics, and then Fnatic is in Group A, and then Group B at number 1 is Tempest, then Dignitas, then Method, and then Heroes Hearth. So Scott, what 2 teams do you think are in the finals?
I mean, you'd be foolish not to say Genji or MVP Black, but the Genji. Such a
stupid.
It's awful.
But for the other team, right now I'd gotta say Tempest. You know, they went 9-1 in the group stage, and they look really good.
But the one was the Heroes Hearth, surprisingly.
Heroes Hearth is not that good.
I know, that's weird, right? They have moments of like good plays, but they upset me.
Yeah,
they're inconsistent.
Yeah, they're good sometimes.
I think they're the worst team that made it to the next round.
They were like the lowest, like 5-5 or whatever. They
almost didn't make it.
Yeah,
but I mean, like they have moments of greatness, moments of terribleness. Remember like when they beat Dig on the on the map with the Lost Bottom Keep in Dragonshire?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was really cool.
I think that's because Dig threw more than Heroes Hearth won.
Dignitas has not looked good.
Yeah, I agree. Also swingy.
Yeah.
Yeah. They may make it to the semifinals just because they're good in general, but they're not playing as good as a lot of people have expected them to.
Yeah.
Maybe they just choke at lands.
Maybe.
No, usually it's the opposite, right? Usually they're clutch players.
Well,
they have it in the past.
No. First of all, remember the rosters are completely different now, right?
Yeah,
so you don't have Bakery on support there, so the rosters are different. But yeah, I think everyone agrees that Gen G should be in the finals. The biggest question is, I can definitely see a scenario where 4 teams could be in the number 2 spot.
True. And also, none of the 4 is American teams.
I think Tempo Storm.
I don't know. Tempo Storm looks pretty good.
No, but I mean, they lost to a troll draft to Genji, man. They got made fun of to a hammer comp.
Yeah, but they beat Ballistics 3 times. I mean,
yeah, that's true.
Well, maybe that's more of a how bad Ballistics is. But
Ballistics looked pretty good. Like the first day when they lost to Tempo Storm, it's just like, oh, Tempo Storm looked good, and Ballistics, I was like, oh, they're sleeping. But then they looked like they were playing. They played better the rest of the tournament. That like woke them up. Mm-hmm. But they ended up with tie records, and they played a tiebreaker earlier today. And Tempo Storm still kind of dominated them. Mm-hmm. So they got Ballistics number at the very least.
Yeah. I am surprised, pleasantly surprised that Method has looked way better than I thought they would be. So, yeah. So, but I think at this point, I have to agree with Scott that Tempest is the number 2 team and plays in the finals against Genji.
And I'm actually very disappointed in Fnatic's games. I mean, I used to be a Bad Benny fan, but Bad Benny feeds, hashtag.
Yeah. Yep. Well, I will be a fan of him next
in 2 weeks.
Next season when he goes back to tanking.
Yeah.
True that.
So, yeah, I think Method, like I've always said this before, Method's going to be the second best, maybe the best team in Europe after, because it's a waste to have Nick play Tassadar. Like, I don't know why they're doing that.
True.
But
yes.
Yeah. So, but, yeah. So, I think, Heroes Hearth is mediocre. Fnatic is mediocre. And, Tempo, who knows? Dignitas, maybe. Who knows what they're going to do, but should be very interesting to see.
I have one question. Why do they have the players play Jenga during the off time?
That makes no sense.
The whole interview thing. Well, they got to do something in the background because they're all, professional video game players and not very like social or anything, so they're kind of awkward. Mm-hmm. So they had to be doing something. Jenga with giant blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't get it.
Yeah. I mean, like you think about it, they play games for a living, right? It's kind of nonsensical if you think about it in general, right? So
okay,
yeah, but yeah, I don't get it. I don't like it. Whatever. So, but maybe like if we were smarter, we would be like, oh, this signifies how every character you play affects the game, and it brings you one step closer to building a taller structure or something, whatever. You know what I mean?
What? I don't know.
That's called pulling shit out of your ass.
Yeah.
I like some HR stuff.
Oh man, I should
HR poli-sci shit.
It's like throwing shit on a canvas and then calling it art.
Yeah, I could be a humanities major.
You gotta smear it first.
Yeah. And you know what? There's some people who eat that shit up.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Let's move on from that. So, all right. So we're gonna do a deep dive into the meta. We're going to discuss where most of the supports, where they stand and where they fit in the current meta that we're in right now. So we're going to talk about probably not all of them, but the vast majority of them. So first of all, speaking of HUC, everyone is prioritizing Malfurion, which leads me to believe that Malfurion is probably the best healer in the game.
Yeah, I'll agree with that. Yeah. I said that a week or two ago when we had Cat Peach on.
Yeah, I'll pull back my statement where I thought Brightwing was really good at lower levels. I actually rescind that. I don't think that anymore. I think having played more Hero League games and completed my placements, that you need a healer that can heal everyone. And you need a burst heal. You don't need a, cause it's funny is that if you're playing in silver, high silver, low gold, you just need ultimates that can disrupt the entire enemy team or help the entire friendly team. Mm-hmm. That's all you really want. You don't want to have like isolation stuff like that. You just want to help everyone or hit everyone. That's why ETC is really good. Variant's good because you blow someone up. That's why Lucio's good if you do the right build. But I still think I'm very conflicted about Stukov because the silence is still a pain in the ass to deal with, but I don't know how good he is anymore. Because I think if you're playing in lower levels, I still go back to saying that Lucio has the most impact. But what do you guys think about either Stukov or Lucio? Let's go to Old Backpack.
I think Stukov's nerfs really hurt him. Like, he has one silence per team fight, and if no one dies during that silence, you're really crippled.
I think that's kind of the idea. That's what they wanted to have happen, though, right? They wanted
you pick them with like variant or something to sort of like blow someone up.
Mm-hmm.
But then you're going with a isolation comp in a low level game, and you don't have the sort of coordination for that. It's good with a variant stun or emergent stun where you can say, I'm stunning him now, put the arm down. But then like a root does the same thing, and it's easier and more heals out. I don't think he's that good.
Oh, what does Tyrebrand think?
I think Lucio is like more applicable. I mean, if your team is on point with like who you're gonna like attack with like Maiev or a variant or something, then yeah, it's like Stukov can be really good, but I think Lucio is so much better. It fits more into more scenarios, especially with the oh shit button on sound barrier. I always like having that on my teams. Like we can sort of like it protects everybody, like you were saying, and it's like you don't have to target on anyone. You just everyone around just gets it. And I think it's a little bit easier to play. So, all
right. So Scott, what do you think about higher levels, Lucio and Stukov?
I'd say Stukov is at least more popular right now than Lucio. Lucio's really fallen off the meta the last couple months. Stukov, his Q got nerfed to silence, but his healing got buffed a couple with the last patch that came out. Because he'd been nerfed and he was nerfed too hard and his win rate sucked. So he got a buff up, and that's not shown on the HGC patch, so he's a little bit stronger than he's showing in the mid-season brawl. And also at level 7, I think it's become more viable is the It Hunger talent. And every time you hit a hero with your silence, it reduces the cooldown and gives you mana. So that kind of negates the cooldown increase. And the nerf to one good spreads mana as well, but I mean your range is shorter on that. But I think he's still decent. With the recent changes, a lot of the heroes are closer on par. It seems like Malfurion's in first, and everybody else is kind of close in second or third.
Well, there's been a lot of Deckard Cain.
Yeah, and I noticed that a few games with Deckard Cain.
And I think that Deckard Cain, I've had this belief for a while that, it's going to take a while for people to get used to Deckard Cain, because if you want heals, you just move around. You don't have to do anything for heals now. But with Deckard Cain, you actively have to participate to get heals. And I think that it's going to take a while for people, especially at the lower levels, to get used to it. And I think actually Deckard Cain is kind of shitty at the lower levels because all he has is a stay a while and listen. That doesn't really help your team get heals, right? So, at lower levels, there's tons of bad engages and there's he can't help that. So, I think that Deckard Cain is worthless at the lower levels. I think once you get into Diamond, maybe Master, then he becomes way more viable because he does have a lot. His healing output is pretty massive, especially in the late game. But
once you're at 20, before that, I'd say it's a little bit weaker than the other AoE healers.
Do you think that the reason why Lucio's not good is because at the higher levels is that it takes him forever to get his ramp up in terms of heals? It takes level 16 before he actually gets to become a real healer.
True.
Yeah, his heals are weak until you get level 10 sound barrier, then you get a power spike for survivability, but your heals are still pretty weak. And then when you hit 16, you get a huge healing power spike as well, and that's when you kind of reach full power. And maybe you're close to the strongest healer. You're rivaling Malfurion for dominance at that point, but before that point you're weaker. And a lot of the games these days are close to decided by that point.
Yeah. Okay, so it seems as though Yrel got buffed 2 patches ago, then she got nerfed, and now I think she's not that good. I think she's not really played that often. She was played a few times in the last 5 days of the midseason brawl, but I don't think she's the skill cap for a good Oriole is far higher than, you know, a Lily or you know, even a Lucio or Sukov at this point. Because an Oriole that doesn't hit her E's or her stuns, or I mean, doesn't hit her whips and doesn't generate stuns is a bad Oriole, you know?
Yeah, she's one of the hardest, I think, supports to play. I think even rivaling Karazim are. So, I mean, I think she's really good if you can sort of have that battery, but the burden of execution is way higher. So
yeah, well, she's also hard in that, you know, her heal is kind of like Anna, right? You have to aim it, and I've seen it missed a lot. Like, it's hard to get optimal heals off.
Yeah, you got to manage a lot of that.
Not to mention, you need to have a good player with you in order to excel. And then, like, her ultimate is damage prevention, not healing. So you have to say, okay, he's going to die now. You have to be really smart and prevent damage instead of actually heal damage.
Yeah, but you got to use that correctly, too. You can't just Aegis somebody who's 20% life.
I know.
You want to Aegis him when he's, you know, 60% life and just started to get focused.
Yeah.
And
you got to heal him.
Come out and heal him and he can run away, not comes out and immediately dead, or you got to heal off and he's dead.
Yeah, you got to heal him and then Aegis. So you have to kind of put those in like right in like really quick.
Yeah, it's really hard to do.
Like Scott says, he comes out and he's dead. It's like if you Aegis someone and like there's not a heal or immediately disengage in between, like there's no value for that.
I still think Ariel's really hard to play with single support. I think she's still probably best played with double support.
What if you had like a Tyrael? Or like even like a Yrel?
Well, Yrel's garbage, so you're going to lose that game, but Tyrael would help.
Okay.
Yeah, so is Zarya too.
Yeah.
Do we count Medivh as a support?
No.
All right.
Well, Medivh and Zarya are both support in my book.
But is Lily pretty much, you know, she's out of the meta now, right? For the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't
she's
seen
good
her.
with us though. She's good bush league.
Decent. So if there's a lot of auto attackers that you could actually get blinds on, meaning not people in the back line, you know, a Hanzo or a Bala or like a Zul'jin who, you know, there's going to be people in front that are going to eat the blind so it doesn't get to them. She's not very good, but like anybody who's got to come in close, like a Tracer, Illidan, Thrall.
You know, it seems like of all the healers, like everything, it seems like the main factor of deciding whether or not a healer is in the meta or not is their ultimates. Like how impactful are the ultimates?
Yeah,
you know, that's all it is.
Think of Uther, like his divine shield empowering the Tracer or Genji. Like that's probably, or Greymane or somebody. That's, I think, the main reason why Uther is picked.
Think about it, like that's the reason why Malfurion is still really good is because the Twilight Dream, even though the damage is far less, but like it all comes down to their ultimates. If you think about it, because the healing I feel like is give or take, right? But like it depends how impactful they are with the ultimates. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not. You know, because I feel like with assassins and tanks, it's not all about their ultimates. It's all about what they provide outside of their talents and stuff like that. But with healers, it's basically, Malfurion's Twilight Dream is the best, you know, ultimate of all the healers. Orioles is kind of shitty. You know, Brightwings is kind of shitty too. You know,
I don't know if Brightwings is shitty. It's just not as impactful.
Exactly what I'm saying. That in terms of impactfulness, you know, Brightwings is like, you know, a 3 out of 10, while Malfurion's is like an 8 or 9 out of 10. While, you know, Decker Kane is like a 6. Lily's like a 6. You know, like Oriole is like a 2 or a 3.
I see what you're saying. I think I never really thought of it like that, but I see your point.
I mean, like Anna's is like, unless there's a Cho'Gall, is a 1. Right? I mean, so it's basically supports have now become who has the most impactful ultimates, right? And how that impacts either your team and or the enemy team. That's all it comes down to now. And I don't know how that, and some of them have cleanse, which actually gives them like a little buff, but that's what healing has become. And they're all kind of the same in terms of their healing output, give or take, right? But,
yeah, well, it's ultimate and your utility that you add, because there are a lot of healers that are similar in their output.
Well, like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's like Yrel has situational utility, right? Like she's useful if she wall stuns, but a root has to root.
Yeah.
The area is now impassable. It's easily and always effective.
Yeah. Because there's always going to be a root no matter what. If you whip someone as Yrel, then they just get whipped, but it doesn't mean you get a stun from it.
Yeah. Malfurion's roots are some of the best crowd control in the game.
Yep.
As far as healers are concerned, at least.
Yeah, it's kind of like a Tyrande arrow, but only it's bigger and it creates broccoli.
Yep. Okay. I think Alexstrasza, Morales, and Ana are pretty much nowhere to be found, and that's a good thing, I think.
Alexstrasza shows up every once in a while.
Infernal Shrines?
Infernal Shrines. I think one of the Chinese teams actually picked her on another map.
But they're all bad, though.
She can put out a ton of healing to the point that her other abilities don't matter. I mean, that's kind of all she does is puts out healing, but if you have a comp that can survive long enough for that healing to come out for W's, she puts out a shitload. She could heal your team, 150% over your entire team in a good 20 seconds, which no other healer can do.
Yeah. True.
But at least at pro play, everyone says, okay, there's the green circle. Everyone bomb the green circle. That's what happens all the time. It's pro play.
Yeah. I think Rhaegar, I think Uther was only picked for the Divine Shield and maybe like the cleanse. That's pretty much it.
Cleanse, shield, and burst heals. That's his whole.
And the stun the tracer, or stun the dive. That's nice.
Yeah, but I feel like Rhaegar is basically a cleanse / ancestral bot at this point. So
which makes him on the lower end because he offers pretty much no crowd control. Because every time he goes in to drop that totem,
gets blown up.
Yeah, very susceptible to blow up.
And what I learned, I watched Not Paradox's video. He says what you do in team fights is that you're in wolf form. You attack an enemy character, and then you drop the totem behind the enemy character, so you can get another auto attack in. Yeah, I learned that.
That's in like skirmishes and team fights. It is kind of risky.
Well, also, anyone else realize that Not Paradox has really good content?
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah,
it's really good. I want to buy him the show. He's really, really good.
I've only seen one video of his.
Yeah, but all right. So Uther, talk about Rhaegar. So I think Kharazim. I'm tired of these low-level players playing Kharazim. Stop it. You need to be coordinated to get maximum. Because the thing, if you're Kharazim in a low-level game, you're only healing one other person probably.
Yeah.
So stop it. Just learn Lucio. It's okay to play Lily. It's okay. Learn Malfurion. I know there's a new skin, but stop it. Just you're not good.
I think a lot of people like to play him because of that skin.
Yeah, I know, but
the skin really provokes you.
Yeah, so
boxer skin.
Yeah, but just stop it. In order to get value out of Kharazim, you need to have very coordinated teams to do that. And in lower levels, maybe one person will talk. During in the game on voice comms. So just stop playing Kharazim, please. But learn.
He's not bad.
No, he's not bad at all. I'm just saying.
Fun.
At low levels, just learn Lucio, learn Lily, or learn Malf, or maybe Stukov. That's it. Those should be your top 4. And Brightwing is solid if you trust your tanks. But other than that, just learn those 4 and you'll be fine. I guarantee it. Don't learn anyone else. So. All right. Well, anything else on healers?
You didn't mention Tassadar. I thought he was picked pretty often with the
with Vala and Tracer exclusively.
Well, honestly, Vala, but mostly Tracer.
Yeah, Tassadar, you really have to believe in your assassin player to get value with Tassadar.
Yeah.
He does. He actually is he's an average wave clear solo laner.
Yeah.
But
he really empowers Tracer on those flanks and dives, though.
Yeah. But you have to really believe in your Tracer player or your Vala to do the right thing. And in Hero League at the lower levels, I'm not doing that. Like, unless I'm in duo queue and I'm, playing with someone that I know is a good Tracer, I'm not doing that.
Well, he puts out good damage late game, too.
I agree with that.
Archon.
Did you guys see some of these comps that came out with, like, Tracer and Genji with Tassadar? That's crazy. Like, I would never think to put those together, but it's like, it works.
It's all burst. So this target will die.
Yeah, it's like both the, like, low HP, hypermobile assassins. Like, I thought it's like, you're going to have no sustain, but if you get that kill and you have Tassadar to kind of back that up with maybe even another healer, it actually worked. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah, the
Asian teams I heard always pull that off.
The problem is that if you don't get that kill, you're kind of boned.
Yeah.
So that's
clear sucks.
Yeah, that's the trade-off. You need to get those kills and snowball that game. If not, then you're kind of boned. So, but if you're watching Chinese games, there's no such thing as macro in those games. So,
nope.
So
team fight.
I think I saw that you guys see that one game with was that Chinese team CE or whatever. They try to do like Illidan Genji on Towers of Doom.
I saw that.
They took that bottom tower and they couldn't get it back because they didn't have the damage to take it back.
No, it's basically
it was there the whole time.
Watching those games reminds me of 5 lesser Voldemorts playing. Like, like we're just gonna go fuck
it's
it.
Like all in.
Yeah, we're gonna just go ham because we want to just kill things. But if you play against people that know macro, it won't last.
Yeah.
So, but so Scott, what are your recommendations for healers to play in Hero League? Obviously, Malfurion's number 1, but if you're suppose you're like True Mr. Fu and you just entered Platinum, right, and you want to grind your way from Plat 5 to Diamond 5, where are some healers for him to learn?
Stukov, Deckard Cain, Lucio, Karazim, maybe.
Okay. No, so the Deckard Cain, the Karazim, or for those require higher skill caps, and you think like at that level, those teams can handle playing with the Karazim or Deckard Cain?
Well, you got Malfurion, who's good for everything, and all the other healers have their kind of like niche where they're good, basically.
Okay.
Like Stukov, if you got like a tank that could hold him there and you have some sort of blow up comp, that's nice. Karazim's good if you have a lot of dive heroes. Lucio has like the oh shit button and has the move speed aura, so if you guys can kind of sustain and win a fight, you can help chase the enemy team all the way back to the base with that move speed and get a lot more kills.
Okay. Now, what if you're playing in Masters and you want to get the Grandmaster? Is it the same 4 guys, including Malfurion, or is it different?
Karazim, I'd say, is very situational. But Stukov, Malfurion, probably Rhaegar has a little bit more usefulness.
Why is that?
Ancestral
can
be game changing.
Okay.
The enemy team tries to burst a target and you heal him and he survives, and all of a sudden all their damage abilities are on cooldown and you just turn the fight. And he's got cleanse.
Okay.
I mean, I'd say every healer has their place outside of I wouldn't go Morales.
Or Anna, right? Anna's also like
Anna could be good sometimes if you pick her towards the end of the draft and the enemy team doesn't have any dives and they can't get to you. it can be very frustrating trying to kill her, and she puts out a lot of healing.
Yeah, that's true.
Nano boost.
Just make sure the person knows they're being nano boosted. They always walk away after putting on.
All right. Well, anyway, so that's our show. So next week, we'll do the Bush League recap for the championship, whoever won that. And then we'll have the owner of Octalysis on the show. And then we'll do, if there's time, we'll do a meta update with Assassins. And yes, and I'm going to include Zagara as an assassin now. So we'll do that. And then we will probably talk about Yrel again, because I'm just curious to see what her win rate is after a full week of games. And so again, remember Bush League Monday night Goon Hots on Twitch at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Please come and join us. All right, so let's go to Charbrand.
And that's our show, and we'll see you in the Nexus.